So what if you could have all the money in the world only to find out it was completely worthless? Today, we're diving into the classic Japanese tale of Toshishun. It's an incredible story about a man who got unbelievably rich and lost it all. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, before facing a test that would make him question what it even means to be human. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're at the western gate of Luoyang, the massive capital of Tang, China. And this is where we meet our guy, Toshishun, and he is at rock bottom. The sun's going down, he's starving, and he honestly thinks the only way out is to just end it all. And you really can't overstate just how far this guy has fallen. I mean, he used to be the son of a super rich family, the life of every party. Everybody knew his name. Now, he's basically a ghost, completely alone in the very city that used to worship him. Now, this is definitely a story about a fall from grace, but it's way more than that. It's really about a cycle. See, what makes Toshishun's journey so wild is that this wasn't just a one-time thing, a single bit of bad luck. He was literally trapped in this brutal, repeating loop of getting rich and then losing everything. So as he's sitting there, totally defeated, this mysterious old man just appears out of nowhere and tells him, "Hey, go dig right over there." And just like that, Toshishun unearths a mind-boggling fortune, an entire cartload of pure gold. Overnight, he's the richest man in the city. And with all this new money, what does he do? He goes absolutely nuts. We're talking the most lavish parties with famous artists and beautiful people, feasts with the rarest food you could find, gardens filled with pure white peacocks, chairs carved out of solid ivory, and wearing robes made from the most expensive silk brocade. His house was basically a palace of pure, unchecked indulgence. But, you know, a fire that burns that bright is going to burn out fast. In just 3 short years, every single coin was gone. And the second the money vanished, so did every single person who called him a friend. He was right back to being all alone. So where does he end up? Back at the Western Gate, completely broke. And unbelievably, the same old man shows up and gives him a second chance, tells him where to find another cartload of gold. But Toshishun learned absolutely nothing. He goes right back to the same lifestyle, and you guessed it, in another 3 years, he's right back where he started, broke and alone. So for the 3rd time, he's sitting at that gate. For the 3rd time, the old man appears with the same offer of gold. But this time, something's finally snapped inside Toshishun. This isn't just another spin in the cycle. This is a real turning point. A totally new path is about to open up. He actually refuses the gold. And this is so important. He's not tired of being rich. He's disgusted by what the money showed him about people. The way they sucked up to him when he had it, and how they couldn't care less when he didn't. It just completely shattered his faith in humanity itself. It clicks for him then that this old man has to be something more. And he's right. He's an immortal, a powerful being named Tekanshi. So Toshishun doesn't beg for gold this time. He begs for knowledge. He wants to escape this petty, heartless world and learn how to become an immortal himself. Tekanshi agrees, and poof, he takes him on this magical journey to the sacred Mount Ime. And this is where Toshishun's real trial begins. It's the Immortal's test. And it's all built around one simple but totally unbreakable rule. The Immortal's command is absolute. No matter what crazy thing he sees, no matter how much pain he's in, he has to stay completely silent. If he says even a single word, that's it. Game over. His training fails. The stage is set. The trials start immediately, and they are just relentless. First, huge tigers and giant snakes jump out at him from the shadows. He stays perfectly still. Then, this crazy supernatural storm kicks up, with lightning striking just inches away from him. He doesn't even flinch. Finally, this terrifying, angry god appears with a whole army of demons, threatening to rip him to shreds. And through all of that, Toshishun doesn't make a sound. Well, the god is furious that he's staying silent, so he strikes him down. But that's not the end, oh no, it's just the next part of the test. His soul is literally yanked from his body and dragged down into the underworld for a trial in hell, right in front of the fearsome King Enma, the ruler of the damned. King Enma demands to know what he was doing on the sacred mountain. Toshishun, remembering his vow, says nothing. And so the tortures begin. We're talking thrown onto a mountain of swords, burned in pits of fire, boiled in giant pots of oil. They They even pull his tongue out. He goes through pain that would break anyone. And yet, he refuses to speak. So, physical pain clearly isn't working on this guy. King Enma decides to try one last, truly cruel test. This one isn't about hurting his body. It's about breaking his soul. This is the final test, the one that really counts. Dee dragged these two miserable, suffering creatures in front of the throne. But as Toshishun looks into their eyes, this cold dread just washes over him. He recognizes them. It's his own mother and father. And as he's forced to watch, completely frozen, demons start beating them with iron whips, and their cries of agony just echo through all of hell. Toshishun is clenching his jaw. His mind is just screaming, but he remembers the vow. He has to stay silent. But then, through all the horrific sounds of her pain, he hears his mother's faint voice. And even now, while being tortured, her only thought is for him, for his success, for his happiness. She's telling him to hold on, to stay silent for his own sake. And that selfless love, that is the one thing he cannot bear in silence. In that one moment, he forgets everything, the immortal, the vow, the quest to rise above it all. And a single, heartbroken, human cry just tears out of him, "Mother!" And in that instant, the vision of hell just shatters. Toshishun finds himself right back where he started, standing under the sunset at the western gate of Luoyang. The entire thing? It was all an illusion, a test created by Tekkonchi. And in his failure, he finds his true reward, the value of just living an honest human life. He thinks he's failed, obviously, but Tekkonchi explains that his cry of love, that was actually the only right answer. And here's the beautiful paradox of the story. His failure to become an immortal was his ultimate success as a human being. Toshishun, still trying to wrap his head around all this, asks the question we're all thinking. Okay, so what if he had been strong enough, or maybe cold enough, to watch his mother suffer and not say a word? What would have happened then? And the immortal's answer reveals the whole terrifying point of the test. A heart so cold that it could ignore a mother's suffering isn't worthy of power or enlightenment. It's only worthy of being destroyed. Compassion, that was the real test all along. In the end, Toshishun gets a small piece of land and the chance to live a simple, honest life. He chose the human path, the one defined by love and connection, over the immortal's path of cold, emotionless existence. The story seems to be saying that real enlightenment isn't about escaping our humanity, but actually embracing it. And it kind of leaves us with a question, right? What is the true measure of a worthwhile life? Maybe the greatest treasures aren't gold or magic, but the very compassion we're sometimes afraid of losing.